Hello, everyone. My name is Nick, and I'm the product manager for GitHub Copilot for JetBrains IDEs. And today I'm joined with Sergey, who's from JetBrains and the product manager for ACP, the Agent Client Protocol. And we're very excited here today to talk about how AI agents in the IDE continue to evolve. Sergey, please introduce yourself.
Hello, Nick. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm really pleased to talk with you today. I'm Sergey, working at JetBrains as a director of engineering, but here I'm playing a role of a product manager, as you said, of Agent Client Protocol or ACP. And today we are going to talk about how to plug and how to use different agents available in the market together with editors and IDEs available in the market and get the best coding experience with agents. Let's uh, let's remember what was ACP is developed by JetBrains and Z together. But before we start digging into, let's remember what we got somewhere in the middle of last year. So somewhere in June, July last year, we got a bunch of terminal-based agents available in the market. Like they start blooming because it was much easier for people who are building agents to develop terminal-based UIs. If you want to iterate fast, you can say, okay, we will not pay attention how to build interface. We will focus ourselves on how to build the best agent on the market. And it was really vibrant and blooming market somewhere since, as I said, June, July last year. But from other hand, there were lots of people who were saying, okay, it's definitely cool that you have a lot of terminal-based tools, but we want to use our editor we love, editor we get used to, together with the coding experience with coding agents are offering us. And it was a huge signal that we have somehow standardized a way how to plug agents to editors. On the same time, also inside JetBrains, we developed our own agents. It was called Journey, and they built just a separate tool window inside the IDE. And it was a bit confusing for people, our users, to sort out and figure out which tool window they have to use. So, and we decided, okay, we need to develop some standard way how to plug the agent to the editor. And exactly the same time, people from Z decided to do the same. So it was just a demand from the market. And people from Z were maybe 1 week ahead of us. And they released the agent client protocol in beginning of August last year. And instead of bringing the second competing protocol to the market, we decided to join our efforts and start working together. So right now we call it this agent client protocol. Before we had another internal name, but it's just a bit of a history. Yeah, and the idea there more or less the same like Microsoft did I think almost 10 years ago with LSP. They say, okay, instead of bringing all the tools and wire them together to the particular editor, let's simplify the equation and try to separate tools and editors. And the equation was like, use whatever tools you like in the editor you love. The same applied to ACP, and we are thinking about that, like, use whatever agent you want in the editor you love. It's just basically a JSON protocol allowing you bidirectional communication between the editor and the agent. We have a number of editors on the left part of this equation and a bunch of agents, ACP capable agents on the right part of the equation. And the same principle, open principle, HLSP offered us back to days, applied here. So there's zero lock-in. You can implement ACP if you are building your new agent, or if you're supporting some other. Also, you can say, okay, I'm implementing the client side, and you're going to be ACP capable. And I must say that we started quite shy. Back to days, we started about maybe like 5-6 agents were supported, but right now we have more than 30 agents on the market, and we have another huge amount of clients who are supporting ACP. And the good thing here that not all these clients are editors right now. And for example, the very popular thing which is called OpenClaw is also ACP capable, allowing you to control coding agents through any chat you want, like WhatsApp, iMessage, or Telegram. And recently we introduced a so-called ACP registry. So this is the marketplace of ACP capable agents, and we are fetching all the versions of agents every single hour, and this simplify the distribution a lot. So if someone uploads a new version of the agent, it will be distributed within maybe several hours across all the available population of people who are using ACP capable editors. And it's worth mentioning that if you want to implement your own ACP registry, for example, for some enterprise needs, it's also possible. It's a simple and powerful open protocol. It allows you to say, okay, this JSON file will describe all the agents available for my private registry. And it's very helpful if you want to build a distribute agent within your organization. You can say, okay, I want to distribute my own agents with, for example, fixed versions or fixed names or fixed capabilities across the whole enterprise. And I was really pleased when Nick from GitHub Copilot team called us in the beginning of this year, and we started to collaborate together with GitHub Copilot team on how to bring their agents to our unified chat. And here I'm passing my word to Nick.
Yeah, thank you, Sergey. Let's bring the ACP protocol to a live example. So we're very excited to be working with JetBrains to enable a native integration of GitHub Copilot within the AI assistant through the ACP protocol. So based on this protocol and this integration, GitHub Copilot show up as one of the default agents in the AI chat, and it's a one-click experience, no complex setup. It runs directly inside the AI assistant of JetBrains 2, and most importantly, it combines both JetBrains' deep understanding of the code base as well as Copilot's features and models. So in this experience, you'll be getting the best of both worlds in one workflow.
Okay, great. Let's go to see some demo.
Yeah, thank you, Sergey. So let's take a look at this demo in action. So right now, you can see GitHub Copilot is already showing up in the agent list, and you can see different modes such as autopilot and menu, and there will be all the models that you can pick. So let's give it a very simple prompt, create a web app, and we will see GitHub Copilot in AI Assistant has the syncing, it's reading all the files, and you can see the interaction directly inside the AI assistant. So during this process, you will also see it's giving you a summary of what has been changed, the to-do list, and as well as the files is just edited. In addition, it shows the diff, such as how many lines are added or deleted. And now we can just go quickly verify that our app is working. So, based on this experience, you will be giving a very lightweight and flexible agentic coding experience. And now it's all done. So it's just simple as that. Yep.
Yeah, I have a number of questions to you. For example, do you need a separate subscription for GitHub Copilot when you are using it inside JetBrains AI chat?
Yep. Good question. So for to use the GitHub Copilot, you just need the GitHub Copilot subscription. For some of the other ACP agents, you might need the JetBrains AI subscription. So it's based on the agent. For GitHub Copilot, you'll be just logging through the GitHub for now. And also, right now, the integration we showed works in all JetBrains IDEs.
Yeah, and I think it's worth mentioning that it's also working inside all ACP capable editors, not only JetBrains
Yes.
IDEs, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. And what if I want to build my own ACP agent? Is it possible to do?
It's totally possible because ACP is open standard. You can build your own agent and upload it to the ACP registry, and all the editors, not just the JetBrains ones. As long as it's ACP compatible, you will be able to use the agent you just built.
Okay. And was it hard for your team to implement ACP?
So far, I think it's very open standard and very transparent, and it's evolving really fast. So I think the protocol is going towards a very good direction. You can even submit issues to discuss about the things in the protocol. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. And what about the coding context and how it's working together with agents and IDs?
Yeah, great question. So context is very important in the ACP integration, especially in the different editors. The IDE actually provides the relevant code-based context to the agent you select. And in the case of JetBrains IDEs, actually, it already has a very good understanding of the context, so it makes it even better.
Thank you, Nick, for inviting me here and for giving a talk together. And see you next time.
Thank you, Sergey. See you next time.